Hey everyone. So the audio didn't record for the tutorial in class, so I'm just going to make another video and very quickly go over what I covered. I will upload it on YouTube and add some timestamps so you can go back to this video anytime you like. I will cover four things: layouts in Rhino, and then in Photoshop, selection tools, layer mask, and fills. So let's start with layouts. I have my drawing here. To get a new layout, you go down here, press new layout. Let's see, tutorial 2. I leave it at landscape on tabloid. That's the only two things I change. Everything else I keep as default. And you will get your layout here, your viewport here, sorry. To enter your viewport, you double click and you can move around in there. And to exit, just double click outside and you can move around there. So I would want to select my drawing, type in ZS, zoom select, and now it's center. I can double click out and just select the border here. You cannot select in or out. You have to select the border, and in your properties tab, it will show the scale value. I'm going to put 150. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and that's it. Very simple. Once you get into full drawing sets, you can create lots of different layouts. And when you print, I just typed print, you can print all your layouts once into either separate files or into one PDF. So I'm just going to go ahead and select raster for Photoshop for the purpose of this tutorial, and then nothing else changes. Just want to double check. Print tutorial 2 as a PDF. Okay, that is okay. And this is how it looks like. Awesome. Now in Photoshop, it's new document, print, tabloid. I have artboards turned off. Landscape, 300 ppi is good enough. If you are printing this, I would go CMYK. If you're just using it for web, I would recommend RGB. So 8-bit is good enough. I would not go higher. And then create. Okay, awesome. And some quick commands. To pan, you hold down space and then left click. Zooming in and out. I mean, the mouse scroll wheel goes up and down, and if you hold Alt, you can zoom in and out. If you hold Control, you go sideways, and then holding Shift just is you can accelerate your movements. So it's just 2 times or 3 times. So okay, I will find a file that this one here, and you just drag and drop. Yep. So you see here in the layers tab, it showed up. Here you can scale your drawings. If you want to scale from the middle, you hold Alt. If you don't want it scaled, if you want to break away from, yeah, this is me holding Shift. You can scale it fat or skinny, however you want. I will just have it like this. So this is a true 1:50 scale. And I just press enter. Okay, now let's try some selection tools, which is helpful. Here, let's make a new layer. And then I go back. I always want to select this layer with the drawing. And your selection tools are here. There are 3 different selection tools. You can also press W. So here, to move the brush, I am holding Alt and I right click and I move left or right to change the size of the selection. And then still holding Alt, I move up and down to change the hardness. I keep it 100% hardness, and now if I want to crop this out, I would just select here. Yeah, sometimes it's not, this is a simple drawing, so maybe this is not the right selection tool. I press Control D to deselect everything. And then to toggle between different selection tools, I hold Shift and press W. So you see now it's a wand. And I select this, it just creates this really nice outline around it. And then I can use this as a layer mask. There's nothing in layer 1 now, but if you see here, it's created a layer mask. So let me bring in some textures. Some assets, textures. Let's go with this one. All I do is just drag it. See here. Okay, press enter to place it. And then I can actually take this layer mask and drag it onto here, and it automatically crops it. So if I want to select something else, so if I press W to go back to selection, and Shift W. This one is a bit, it might work better on a person or some more complex images. You can always toggle between the 3 and see which one works best for what you need. Let's bring in the person. So assets, humans. I brought this in. It's too big, so I would just scale it down. That looks okay, press enter. And then say I want to I don't want this dog, or I am in my selection tool now. I go smaller. So I would just, yeah, let's see. It detects, oh, there we go. So this is another way to have selections too. You see how there's that pink. For some images it works better than others. But then here I can just click layer mask and it'll just keep the dog. If I want everything else, I Control Z to go back. Here in selection there's an inverse. So it doesn't look like it did anything, but if you zoom out, you can see it selected everything else. And then select layer mask again. And now dog is gone. If you see these, it's not that clean of a selection. So I can actually go to the layer mask. So here I click, I'm on the image. If I click on the mask, I'm working on the mask. You can go to brush or press B For brush, again, hold Alt. Yeah, my brush is so big. Go back down. And again, white is to show and black is to remove. So I want my brush here to be black. So I can type X to swap these two colors around. If you have different colors, you can always, like if I was working on something else and I had this color, I can press D and it would always default to black and white. Press X and make sure I am on my layer mask. I will brush away. So I am masking this. And then now the dog is completely gone. Let's bring in another texture. Ooh, cool. So another selection tool you can use is the Lasso Tool. So I'm holding Alt to drag from the middle on both sides. And then I press Enter. And the Lasso Tool is up here. Or you can press L. So I want to see where the building is. So I'm just going to hide this. And there are different lasso tools you can use. This one, you just freestyle draw. Control D to deselect. Usually I use the polygonal one, and it is different shapes where you can select. So, and if I want to end, I can just see how there's a circle. It's the end of the loop. Or I can just double click anywhere and it'll automatically end. So now I have a selection too from the lasso tool. I go back to this, make sure I'm on this layer, press layer mask, and then now I have a little hill. If I want the building to be in front of the hill, I can just move this down. And what's going on? Oh, because this has a white background, I want to remove the background. I have the layer on, I can just select multiply, and there we go. It is now in front of it. So let's make like a sky or something. So new layer, you can press this or Control Shift N. I want to name this layer sky. And let's see, say I want the sky. This is my colors palette. You can go to Windows, Color. This is how I lay out my Photoshop. You'll find your own way to lay it out. But what's a good color for a sky? Sure, that's a good color. So if I have this color selected, I press Alt and Delete. It will fill whatever layer I have with my foreground color. If I want to fill it with my secondary color, this white, I hold Control backspace, and then Alt backspace for the foreground, Control backspace for the background. So I want the sky, but I also want to show this maybe a white around here. So what I would do, another selection tool, is just the rectangle tool. It's a simple tool. I think, actually no, it's this one. Rectangular marquee tool. I select it here. So yeah, these marching ants, those are the selections. I go back to the sky, and oops, Control Z. I would want to inverse this. Inverse, and then layer mask. And there we go. But maybe I move this one down. So now I can see all this. So yeah, that's a very quick way to do it. Maybe I show one other bonus. Let's have another human. Let's see. Let's say too big. Enter. I'm going to move this to the front. And to go back to selection, right now I'm in the Marquee tool. To go back to selection, I press this or V, and then I can move it around wherever I want. Say you have a lot of people, but they're too colorful and you just want to make it like a solid fill or a black. I would create a new layer. And then if I want to fill them like a pink color, I have this layer selected, Alt, backspace to fill the whole layer. And if I hold Alt and I hover around this layer, you see this, it changes. You press that, and then now, whatever color this is, it will fill into the shape of this. I can still move it around. Oops, I'm moving this one. Okay, I can still move them around. But yeah, so if you want outlines of people, but you want to remove the color, this is a quick and easy way to do it. And then you can change the colors later. Say I want it to be green, I select green, I'm on this layer, Alt backspace, and now it's green. So yeah, that's it for the tutorial.